Peace, peace, peace. Peace and welcome to another episode of the High Science Network. I'm your host, Devon. Yo, please tell me that y'all saw the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar last night on the Super Bowl. Tell me y'all saw the Super Bowl with that halftime show, man. I really enjoyed that show, man. I thought Kendrick Lamar brought it down, bro. I'm not really a Kendrick Lamar fan. I have to admit that. A lot of his music is just kind of new to me in terms of my exposure to it, because I don't have a history of listening to that dude. I don't really listen to a lot of these cats. But, you know, I really dig the message he was conveying, and I picked up on some subtle things in his show that I want to talk about. But one thing I want to talk about with his show is that I looked on social media today and I couldn't help but notice a lot of negative criticism of his show. A lot of people are speaking negative about it, like they didn't enjoy it and it was mid and all kind of other little disrespectful things or expressions of disapproval people were sharing. And I thought about something when I saw that. I said, you know, these groups of people who are expressing negative views on that show probably fall into two buckets. One is, obviously, some of these people are probably going to be Drake fans. These are people who are probably fans of Drake, or they are sympathizers of Drake, being sympathetic to him for this, you know, this brutal loss he took in this rap battle with Kendrick Lamar. I mean, this was absolutely brutal to witness. I have to say, man, I would put a lot of emphasis on earlier rap battles. You know, again, I'm a bit older, you know, so I personally would always say that No Vaseline by Ice Cube was the most brutal, efficient, tactical diss record I ever heard. And I think I still feel that way, man. He single-handedly just did a round robin on a group of four dudes and just tore them apart, man. So I don't personally put anything above that. But what Kendrick did to this Drake dude was up there, man. I mean, he really laid into this cat, man. And I think some people out there, like, who are fans of Drake or sympathetic to him, are like, yo, you went overboard. That was a bit too effective. Like, crazy punchlines in there and stuff he was using, and it was deeply harmful to Drake's reputation. Obviously, the accusations of, you know, messing with kids and all that. Whether and again, I don't keep up with these guys. I don't know how true some of those accusations are, but that's crazy work. I think also the second bucket of people who, and this one is a little bit more interesting to me, but I thought about this. A lot of people probably disapproved of that performance because it was too black. That was the blackest halftime performance I'd ever seen, man. That's one of the black, and bro, we gotta applaud that, man. Let me get a sound bite for some applause, man, because that's crazy, man, that he was able to pull that off and say, yo, man, we went from, you know, having some deep discussions about race and everything and entertainment, especially with the NFL, you know, and Jay-Z took a lot of criticism. I personally issued a lot of criticism to Jay-Z in my personal circles about how he handled, you know, securing that NFL deal. But I got to tell you, man, I'm going to sit here and really admit to you, man, I liked what I saw last night, man. I liked that FBA presence in that show, and Kendrick put on for our people, man. Give that man another round of applause, man. Kendrick, man, he really defiantly and unapologetically demonstrated black empowerment on that stage last night. Everybody on that stage was melanated, man. I went back and looked at it. Everybody was melanated, man. Everybody on that stage, I could be fooled. There might have been somebody else up there, but that was a mostly black cast on that stage with Kendrick. That was deliberate and that was dope. We needed to see that, man. And he stood strong on that, and man, amazing. So I think the second group of people who had an issue with that show were people that thought that was too black. Now, here's what's interesting about that, man. That crowd that Floyd Mayweather, he called the UFC fans beer drinkers, and I knew what he meant when he said that once, and I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I want to tie this together. There's a demographic in America, let's see here, the hillbilly types. And a lot of these guys like the NFL, NASCAR, UFC, stuff like that, that crowd, these guys are probably like, yo, we didn't like that. We don't want to see a stage with 100 black folks dancing and making black empowerment messages, and they don't want to see that, right? So they're obviously going to be critical of that, man. People who really are scared of black empowerment and seeing positive black images and pro-black images, right? Pro-black images scare some of these guys, man. And Kendrick was pro-black last night. Some of us have an issue with the term pro-black, but let's just keep it a beam, man. Kendrick was all the way live with his pro-blackness last night, man. And it was a beautiful thing to watch where we see all this DEI, diversity and inclusion stuff. And, I'm going to talk about that on my show, man. That stuff has a negative impact on our people as black people. And I know some of y'all are like, I know he didn't just say that. He's confused. It's the other way. Nah, because think about this, right? We've had to watch the token black person in some of these casts and these shows and everything. I want to see an all black cast. What's wrong with that? And here we go. We got it. We got it live for a halftime show for hip hop, man. How crazy is that, man? Really think about that. Other groups couldn't say, well, you got to include us and we got to have some distribution of everybody equally represent. Nah. Kendrick was like, nah, all black, all melanated up on this stage. That's crazy, man. That's powerful, man. Now I want to talk about something I saw that I picked up on. I'm not a Kendrick or Drake fan. I gotta admit that. A lot of Kendrick songs. I'm again. You always gonna hear me say I'm the old cat. I'm the unk. I don't keep up with this, man. I'm the guy that can talk to you about Big L and G Rap. I don't keep up with these new cats, man. It's too much 808 drums for me and stuff. I like hard boom bap. But anyway, I'm starting to pick up on some of Kendrick's messages, and I got people putting me on to his music. And I'm starting to learn that this cat, he's definitely one of the real ones, man. I like him, man. But something I picked up on in the show last night was with Samuel L. Jackson's role in the program. He's supposed to be Uncle Sam, but here's something else I noticed. I noticed that he's not just Uncle Sam in terms of his appearance. In terms of how he was expressing some of those views he was saying, he represents that segment of American society that rejects hip hop, that's scared of hip hop, that second bucket I was talking about. That crowd that's like, yo, we don't want to see all these black folks talking this pro-black stuff. We don't want to see that. That was Uncle Sam last night. That was Samuel L. Jackson representing that perspective. At one point he said, yo, this is much better. I like this. When they was doing a more soft, record. And then when it got a little rowdy to one of the records, he was like, yo, that was too ghetto or something, he said. I was like, oh, I picked up on that. That represents that Karen element in America that might have had an issue with Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick Lamar was just unapologetic, man. That was dope. And he hit Drake with that 1-2, that knockout. Hit him with that 3, actually. Knocked him straight out with that. You not like us, man. Just laced him crazy with that, man. And had the nerve to look in the camera at that, hey, Drake. That was crazy, man. And it's just nuts to hear people say they didn't enjoy that, man. They and I get it. Some of y'all are kind of soft and you like some of that pop stuff and everything, and things get a little too black for y'all. Y'all start looking for the panic button. I get it, man. That's supposed to happen. I'm sure Kendrick anticipated some people were going to have an issue because of that. The amount of blackness they were going to experience on that stage, man. I'm sure he said, yeah, they're going to be in for a shock on this, man. But that was dope. One other thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to sign off, man. I'm not a football fan either, man. That's something I'll be telling people. I'm not a football fan, but I watched the Super Bowl because it's just a big event. and I check it out. I'm a sports guy. I love basketball. I used to play basketball. I was actually pretty good back in the day. But at any rate, yeah, I'm more of a basketball guy, man. Football, my ADD is too bad to really enjoy football, man. The sport is too slow for me, man. It takes them way too long to run a play. And then finally, to get set up and snap the ball, and then finally when the ball snaps, a guy runs 3 feet and hits the ground. And everybody got their hands on their hips trying to get organized again to snap the ball again. And you sitting there so long, the commercials come on. And it's just crazy. My ADD is too crazy for that, man, for me to sit there and wait for this thing to develop. And they're inching up the field incrementally trying to score. And I'm like, man, my ADD is too crazy for that, man. Somebody got to hurry up and score. And then they intercept the ball and the other guy tries and they going back and forth and ain't nobody scoring. Yeah, that's why I don't watch football, man. I got an ADD issue. But last night I checked it out, man. I made it to about 3/4. And I got to admit, the halftime show kind of kept my attention for the first 2 quarters. I was just anticipating that. But I don't know any of these football cats either for that, considering the fact I don't watch football. And I'm watching this Mahomes guy, and I kept calling him Mahomes and Mahomes and I didn't know the guy's name, Mahomes. And I'm like, yo, man, whoever this guy is, he can't complete a damn pass. And these cats went with 0 points for the first 2 quarters in the Super Bowl. I'm like, yo, you could hire me and let me be your quarterback. I won't complete a pass. I might complete let me not say negative things about my abilities. Bro, I probably could have completed a pass before this guy, man. Y'all ain't catching the ball. This guy, interception. I'm like, yo, can y'all do something? I'm not a fan of either team, but I'm like, yo, you in the NFL, bro. You made it to the Super Bowl. And how come nobody can catch the ball, man? I don't even care you not getting a touchdown, son. Can somebody catch the ball? Like, damn. Get that guy up out of it. I don't follow the sport. If you're against Mahomes and you're a fan of the other team, you probably laughing your rear end off right now hearing me. But I'm a non-fan sitting there saying, yo, that's crazy. You got a guy you hired to play at the professional level. This guy can't complete a pass. Hire me, man. Put me on the team. I probably will struggle to complete a pass, man. You could save some money. I won't need a fraction of what you paying him. But yeah, that's the long and short of it, man. I just wanted to give my 2 cents, man. Y'all, appreciate y'all listening, man. Check me on the next video, man. Peace and love.